Ladies and gentlemen, the moment is finally here. It is time to decide the Southeast Zone. SD Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, University of Education Winneba, a class of winners, zonal champions. One more zonal champion to go. That champion will be decided today. That champion will be either the Valley View University, the University of Ghana, or the Accra Technical University. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the Southeast Zone Final, Tertiary Business Science Challenge 2025, version 7.0. It is brought to us by Graphic Business in partnership with the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana. Our sponsors, MTN Ghana, Compu Ghana, PwC, Glyco Life, GCB Bank. Our media partners, Daily Graphic, Graphic Online, and TV3. The program is streaming live on Facebook, Daily Graphic Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, you are specially welcome to this event. The contest to decide the winner will be organized in 6 rounds. And at the end of it all, the one who accumulates the most points will be adjudged the winner. 3 great institutions who defied all odds to be at the zonal final. Valley View University, they joined the Tertiary Business Science Challenge in 2024. At that time, they only made it to the semi-final. They could not progress to the zonal final. This year, it is a step better. This year, they've qualified to the zonal final in just their second time of asking. And they are so much welcome here. We will see what they have on offer. For the University of Ghana, 3-time zonal champion. They have what it takes. They've been here all the time that we've organized zonal championships. And they are here to defend their title because they are the defending champions. Remember, they are also the national champions, the defending. And they will be seeking to defend their national title this year. For the Accra Technical University, they joined TBSC in 2020. In 2022, they made it to the zonal final for the very first time. After that, they haven't made it to the final again. This year presents a very good opportunity. They are here and they want to win to appease their numerous fans who have been solidly behind them all these years. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is a tripartite of great institutions. One will be the champion. Which one is it going to be? Will it be the Accra Technical University? Will it be the Valley View University? Or will it be the University of Ghana? So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me with a loud round of applause as I welcome all contestants on stage. You would want to say your last prayers before we do battle. AT, are you okay? You're fine. You've had enough prayers. Legon, are you done with your prayers? Valley View, you are a faith-based institution, so I believe you've had enough of the prayers, right? Ladies and gentlemen, they are seated. 9 gentlemen. Brilliant, solid, very learned. They are here to defend their institutions. They are all well prepared. They've gone through this weeks, months of preparation. It comes down to this. It comes down to the zonal final. They will still have a chance, even if they don't win this, to be the national champion. But for now, this is what is at stake. And like we always say, a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. Valley View University, please introduce yourselves.
I'm the person of Boatin Elvis, BBA accounting level 200.
I'm the person of Yeboah Bright Pepper, level 300, B.Ed accounting.
I'm Philip Afari Williams, BBA accounting level 400.
You are welcome once again, gentlemen. So, your first time at the zonal final, how does that make you feel?
That makes us to know that with much effort we can do the desired purpose that we want to, which is win the contest or get the cup.
Okay. Now you are coming up against two well-experienced institutions in this competition. As a school which is relatively younger compared to these two in this competition, are you under any pressure?
Well, we won't say we are under pressure, but we are maintaining the composure.
Valley View University, what should we expect from you today?
Good, better, best. May we never rest until our good is better and our better best. So God help.
I wish you the very best of luck, Valley View University. University of Ghana, please introduce yourselves.
So Jonathan Nina in BSc accounting final year.
Peter Emeka Ike, BSc banking and finance final year.
Shalom Bijilana Nakwam, BSc accounting level 300.
Gentlemen, you are welcome once again. 3 times in a row you've been at this stage. Are you still motivated for this?
Yes, we are. The motivation never dies.
How differently have you prepared this time for this?
So just like we said yesterday, as of last year, we are preparing us trying to win for the very first time. But this year, we are preparing us defending our championship. So the difference is that the mindset is of a defending champion.
What should we expect from you, University of Ghana?
Expect dominance.
I wish you the very best of luck. Accra Technical University, ATU. The last time you were here. All right, please introduce yourself.
I'm a person of your boy G, BTech accounting level 300. Edria Obed, BTech accounting level 300.
Down so Kwame, BTech account level 200.
The last time you were here was in 2022 at this stage. 2022, you ended up being third. You were defeated by the University of Ghana and as well as, I think, the Pentecost University or so. What is the motivation for this particular one?
Okay, so it's a great opportunity to be at the final stage of the contest. And then I think we've had our best possible preparations to participate in this contest. And then we are hoping for the best. The battle is still the Lord's.
So, talking about preparation, how differently have you prepared for this?
Okay, I think as I said earlier, we've done our possible best preparation so far. So we are hoping to do better than our previous contest.
What should we expect from you?
Okay, since we are putting in our possible best, we expect a good outcome from it.
All right. I wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, they've introduced themselves. They've told us what we should expect from them. They've told us they are motivated for this. But upon all the motivation, there's going to be only one winner. And this winner will be the one who will come out with the highest points at the end of the contest. Ladies and gentlemen, in 6 rounds, we will determine the winner. In 6 rounds, we will see who becomes the champion for the Southeast Zone for the 2025 Tertiary Business Science Challenge. I expect this to be full of academic violence. I don't want dominance. I want a close contest. I want one that is full of violence. Please give me that. Because my name is Al Hassan Yusuf Traore, and I love academic violence. Let's have some violence this morning, ladies and gentlemen. The contest will be organized in 6 rounds, like I said earlier. Round 1 is on theory to test your understanding of basic principles and concepts in business. Round 2 will involve calculations where we will give you practical scenarios and you give us a response. Round 3 is the business case of the day. All 3 schools will be presented with a common problem. They are supposed to work as a team and come up with one solution, which will be compared with what we have and marks awarded out of 10. Round 4 is a graphic business segment where I'm going to ask you questions on some stories that appeared in the graphic business newspaper. Round 5, the true or false segment, where I'll give you some statements and you have to tell me if it is a statement of fact or it is false. Round 6 will be riddles. There will be 5 riddles in all. I'll give you a set of clues and your responsibility will be to tell me who or what I am referring to. Please, are we ready? Accra Technical University, are you ready? Are you ready, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Obed, you are sure?
Yes, sir.
University of Ghana, are you ready?
You are very ready.
Valley View University, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am ready. I believe you are ready as well. I'm beginning from my immediate left. Accra Technical University. Theory. Round 1. Test your understanding of basic principles and concepts in business. Each of you will attempt 6 major questions. For a major question, you have 10 seconds to give an answer, and that should be done. If you get it correct, you have 3 points. If it's a bonus, 5 seconds in 1 point, or for 1 point. If you get your bonus question wrong, you suffer a penalty of -1. Bonuses are open to the 2 remaining schools. The first school to ring their bell will be given the opportunity to answer. Let me hear the bell from ATU. The bell from UJ. And that of Valley View University. Ladies and gentlemen, round 1. ATU. Let's do something on sampling. Sampling. Auditors are assessing the accuracy of payments made to suppliers at CompuGhana Limited. They selected a sample of large value transactions and traced them to payment vouchers, approvals, and underlying invoices. Identify the sampling technique used and discuss why it is appropriate in this audit situation. Auditors are assessing the accuracy of payments made to suppliers at CompuGhana Limited. They selected a sample of large value transactions and traced them to payment vouchers, approvals, and underlying invoices. Identify the sampling technique used and discuss why it is appropriate in this audit situation.
So we have the stratified sampling technique, and the reason why they are using such a technique is that they are dealing with a large quantity of customers.
That is not correct. You've been billed that bonus is available. I'll not give the answer now. University of Ghana, your major question. During the audit of ICAG, the auditors decided to test sales invoices issued during the month of December 2024. They selected a continuous group of 150 invoices issued between 1st and 7th December and examined them for accuracy, authorization, and completeness. Identify the audit sampling technique used here and explain why it might be used in this context. I take it again. During the audit of ICAG Limited, the auditors decided to test sales invoices issued during the month of December 2024. They selected a continuous group of 150 invoices issued between 1st and 7th December and examined them for accuracy, authorization, and completeness. Identify the audit sampling technique used here and explain why it might be used in this context.
So the audit sampling used here is the systematic sampling, so this is actually useful because it is actually devoid of arbitration or the arbitrary basis, such that there is an interval which is being set, and so there is no arbitrary in the sampling or the selection of the samples being considered under the auditing.
I'm not taking that. Bonus is available. We've been bailed out. I'll give the answer now. Who rang the bell? The bell didn't. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
It's a cluster sampling because they took all the transactions from the sales. I'm
not accepting that. Now your major question, Valley View University. Valley View University, your major question. Auditors are testing whether customer credit sales at Piva Beverages were authorized by the credit control officer as required by the internal policy. A random sample of sales transactions was examined to check for evidence of approval, identify the audit sampling technique used, and explain how it supports the evaluation of controls. Auditors are testing whether customer credit sales at Piva Beverages were authorized by the credit control officer as required by the internal policy. A random sample of sales transactions was examined to check for the evidence of approval, identify the audit sampling procedure used, and why it is appropriate in this instance.
Hello. Okay, so we have the answer to be test of details. This is because the auditor is checking whether the transactions, he's checking the account and other balances, whether they existed.
That is not correct. Bonus is available. University of Ghana.
It's random sampling. This is because since a random sampling was taken, means that all of them have an equal chance of being selected.
Unfortunately, I'm not able to accept that as well. So let's go through them one after the other. Accra Technical University, I asked you a question on a sample that was selected. Auditors are assessing the accuracy of payment made to suppliers. They selected a sample of large volume transactions and traced them to payment vouchers, approvals, etc. That sampling technique is known as monetary unit sampling. Monetary unit sampling. University of Ghana, yours was about a sample that was taken within a period of time from 1st to 7th December. It's a block sampling. So when it occurs, you select transactions that took place within a specified period. That is what we call a block sampling. For Valley View University, yours was attribute sampling. So they are looking for a key attribute to test whether a particular control was being implemented. That's what we refer to as attribute sampling. Next set of questions, common preamble to all three schools. Still beginning with Accra Technical University. Glycolife has experienced several issues across its production operations, including faulty raw materials, equipment breakdowns, and a growing backlog of customer complaints. The company is currently reviewing its internal control framework to better manage and improve performance across the production cycle. With reference to the scenario I just gave, you have to explain how the following types of controls will contribute in improving Glycolife's production performance. So for each type of control, provide an example of a situation where it can be effectively applied. Did you get a preamble? So I gave a scenario about Glycolife experiencing some production challenges. Now there are a number of controls that they want to use. So I'm going to give you a control, and then yours is to tell me, explain the control one, and then tell me how it can contribute to performance improvement, and also an example of a situation where it could be applied effectively. Are we okay? Now to you, Accra Technical University, yours is feed forward control. Feed forward control.
Okay, so when we say a feed-forward control, it means that the organization was supposed to project or plan for the future, to know the feedback which will come in the nearby future, so that they will depend on that to avoid all risks that are going happen, and then they can also take something from the system and then process it and then bring it back to the system. And then an example of a situation is when the company is, let's say, they are about to start a new production. they can get a feed forward to predict or to know the risk which will happen in the nearby future for the production. And then in relation to the equipment breakdown, they were supposed to find the assessment, or they can assess the feed forward access of the equipment, so that they were supposed to know that the equipment was going to break down.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. University of Ghana, yours is concurrent control. Concurrent control.
All right, so with the concurrent control, these are controls that are put in place in the course of the production itself. So that is where, in the course where the company is actually undertaking this production, these controls would also be put in place. And then a particular example of a situation where this can be applied is actually putting up service to query or to find out how the workers are actually coping with the production. Where there are any deviances, they can actually investigate to find those fluctuations. So any challenges that is actually that actually comes up over time, they are able to actually address it on time before the production
actually is
ends.
correct. Valley View University, yours is feedback control. Feedback control.
Okay, so for feedback control, it is after the actual work has been done. So after the actual work has been done, it is more or less like this one.
Which one?
So it is after the actual work has been done. So we compare the actual work and now take corrective action. So here, when there are 40 raw material.
Audience is ready. Studio audience, I must say, are gingered up. Last quarterfinal contest for day 1 is upon us. To Mudaraba and Musharaka in Islamic finance. I asked you to state and explain. You haven't explained. I want you to explain the points that you have mentioned. Join me as we want to experience some academic violence this afternoon. Team Gamma. It's fine. I'll accept it. Next set of questions, we are beginning from the University of Ghana. University of Ghana, I'm beginning the next set from you. Within 6 months of acquiring a fast-growing logistics startup, a traditional transport company fully integrates the startup's digital tracking platform, dismantles several existing departments, and replaces manual dispatching with AI-driven scheduling. Identify the type of change evident in this scenario and explain your reason, and mention one implication for employees or operations. We are talking about types of change. Let me come again with the scenario. Within 6 months of acquiring a fast-growing logistics startup, a traditional transport company fully integrates the startup's digital tracking platform, dismantles several existing departments, and replaces manual dispatching with AI-driven scheduling. Identify the type of change evident in this scenario. Explain your reasoning and mention one likely implication for employees or operations.
So the type of change is radical change. This is where you incorporate a new detail. So in this scenario, we're talking about the AI that was being incorporated or inculcated. An example where it is being used is yes. An example where so you bring something new to the table, and in this case was the AI. So you are bringing something an entirely new thing to it. Yeah. So with a radical change, it has to do with bringing, incorporating a new thing. So with your scenario, there was a manual aspect of it where it was taken out and an AI was being incorporated into it. So that's the radical change. And a benefit is that you bring something new and there's creativity being implemented.
That's fine, it's correct. Valley View University. Over the past year, the National Health Insurance Authority has steadily restructured its administrative processes by phasing out paper records and gradually training clerks to use electronic filing software. No major disruptions have occurred, and the core structure of the department remains unchanged. What type of organizational change is illustrated in this scenario? Justify your reason and state one implications for staff or operations. I take it again. Over the past year, the National Health Insurance Authority has steadily restructured its administrative processes by phasing out paper records and gradually training clerks to use electronic filing software. No major disruptions have occurred, and the core structure of the department remains unchanged. What type of change is this? Explain why you think so, and also one implication for staff or for operations.
It's incremental change because there has been additional change in the operations of the company, and it has not caused any distractions, but to improve upon the already existing procedures in the company.
Are you done?
To enhance production.
All right.
To enhance production.
2 out of 3. I asked you a question in 3 parts. Actually, the question was in 3 parts. You need to be careful and listen to it well. Accra Technical University, your scenario. An energy company is informed by regulators that it must reduce emissions by 80% within 9 months or face closure. As a result, the company fast-tracks the replacement of key production equipment and suspends non-compliant operations across several sites. What type of change does this scenario depict? Justify your answer and state one organizational or workforce implication. I take it again. An energy company is informed by regulators that it must reduce emissions by 80% within 9 months or face closure. As a result, the company fast-tracks the replacement of key production equipment and suspends non-compliant operations across several sites. What type of change does this scenario depict? Justify your answer and state one implication for workforce or for the organization.
So the type of change is a disruptive change. And then this is because they are taking out all the staffs who are disrupting the activities of the organization. And then one implication is that it can boost productivity since there is no staffs who are disrupting the organization's activity.
That is not correct. Bonus is available. It is actually an imposed or reactive change. I'm not sure I even mentioned staff. I spoke about emissions, which they have to reduce by 80% within 9 months. So based on that directive by the regulator, that is why they undertook that change. So it is in reaction or it is an imposition by the regulator. Next set of questions. Common preamble to the 3 of you. Please take note. We are still beginning with the University of Ghana. Listen to the scenario I'm going to read out carefully. Based on the context provided, identify the type of swap. I hope we know swap. Identify the type of swap that is being described. Then briefly explain how that swap works and how it helps the institution manage its specific risk or achieve its financial objective. Please, did you get the scenario? I'm going to read out some scenarios to you. Identify the type of swap I'm describing, explain or describe that swap, that is how it works, and how it can help the organization to manage some specific risk. Beginning with the University of Ghana. A beverage manufacturing company in Ghana relies heavily on imported cocoa and sugar for its production. Due to recent volatility in global commodity markets, the company is concerned about unpredictable price hikes in these inputs. To maintain budget stability, management enters into an agreement that locks in a fixed price for cocoa and sugar over the next 12 months. I take it again. A beverage manufacturing company in Ghana relies heavily on imported cocoa and sugar for its production. Due to recent volatility in global commodity markets, the company is concerned about unpredictable price hikes in these inputs. To maintain budget stability, management enters into an agreement that locks in fixed price for cocoa and sugar over the next 12 months. Eugene.
So the type of swap here is commodity swap. This is because it was talking about commodities such as cocoa and sugar. And how it works is that, so in an attempt for the business to hedge risks, the business now enters into a contract with the other party where it agrees to pay the price for the cocoa in a fixed price, then expect returns with a floating rate. So, and how it's able to achieve financial objectives that it mitigates risks and also increases the chances that should there be a fluctuation in an interest rate, you don't tend to lose that much.
It is correct. Valley View University. An investment fund wants to gain exposure to the performance of the S&P 500 index, but prefers not to directly purchase the underlying stocks due to regulatory constraints and tax implications in its home country. The fund enters into a contract with a counterparty where it will receive returns linked to the S&P 500 and pay a fixed interest rate in exchange. I take it again. An investment fund wants to gain exposure in the performance of the S&P 500 index, but prefers not to directly purchase the underlying stocks due to regulatory constraints and tax implications in its home country. The fund enters into a contract with a counterparty where it will receive returns linked to the S&P 500 and pay a fixed interest rate in exchange.
Okay, so this is an interest rate swap. So interest rate swap is where the business will try to, in order to hedge risks, they will try to purchase or swap their interest, will try to put their funds in other country where their interest rate to be paid will be very low. And it will help the organization manage its risks in the sense that when the currency in the country fluctuates, it will help reduce the risks of the instability of their monies.
That is not correct. University of Ghana.
So the type of swap is an equity swap. Now, how does it work? An equity swap is a type of swap where one party, that's in this case the business, is making payments. It could be fixed or floating. But in this case, it was fixed, so we are sticking with the fixed. But it's gaining returns, that's it being attached to the market, so hence equity. That's how it works. Now, the objective is that since you want to have exposure to the market, because you have this type of swap, whatever returns that you get is being linked to a particular market index, in this case the S&P 500, and when the market is performing, you also tend to perform, your investment tends to also perform.
It is correct. Accra Technical University, ATU. A large pension fund is concerned that future inflation will erode the purchasing power of its fixed cash flow streams from government bonds. To address this, the fund enters into an agreement where to pay a fixed rate and receive payment adjusted for inflation based on consumer price index. I take it again. A large pension fund is concerned that future inflation will erode the purchasing power of its fixed cash flow streams from government bonds. To address this, the fund enters into an agreement where to pay a fixed rate and receive payment adjusted for inflation based on the consumer price index.
Okay, so the type of swap is interest rate swap, and then this works when there will be a future change of economic conditions, and then the way they manage the risk is that how it will help organization.
Okay, so
One person, once the bell goes, one person will have to continue.
How it can help organization to manage specific risk.
In any case, that is not going to be correct. So let's pause it there. Bonus is available. It is known as an inflation swap. Inflation swap. Next set of questions. This time we are beginning with the Valley View University. Valley View University. Valley View. Let's do some accounting. I think so. MTN Limited began the year with an opening inventory that was recorded significantly higher than its actual value. Purchases and closing inventory were recorded accurately. Explain the impact of overstating opening inventory on the company's profit for the year. Why does this misstatement affect profit in the way it does? MTN Limited began the year with an opening inventory that was recorded significantly higher than its actual value. Purchases and closing inventory were recorded accurately. Explain the impact of overstating opening inventory on the company's profit for the year. Why does this misstatement affect profit the way it does?
Okay, so for opening inventory being overstated, it will increase the cost of goods sold. And when the cost of goods sold increases, expenses will increase, and therefore profits will decrease, will be understated. So profits will decrease as a result of increase in the...
Okay, I'll accept that. Accra Technical University. CompuGhana Limited deliberately inflated its closing inventory valuation to enhance its financial position before applying for a bank loan. Both the opening inventory and purchases for the year were recorded correctly. What effect does overstating closing inventory have on reported profit? Why might management choose to do this? I take it again. CompuGhana Limited deliberately inflated its closing inventory valuation to enhance its financial position before applying for a bank loan. Both the opening inventory and purchases for the year were recorded correctly. What effect does overstating closing inventory have on reported profit? Why might management choose to do this?
Okay, so this will reduce cost of sales or cost of goods sold, and then this will lead to an increase in net profits. And then since there is an overstatement in the net profit, it means the financial position of the organization will be in good condition, which will influence the bank decision for them to grant the loan to the organization.
I'll accept that. University of Ghana, Ghana, mistakenly included a large supplier return as part of its total purchases in the annual account. Other inventory figures were accurate. Discuss how failing to deduct a supplier return from purchases can affect the reported profit. What does this suggest about the importance of accurate purchase accounting? I take it again. Ghana mistakenly included a large supplier return as part of its total purchases in the annual account. Other inventory figures were accurate. Discuss how failing to deduct a supplier return from purchases can affect the reported profit. What does this suggest about the importance of accurate purchase accounting?
So this will actually increase the cost of goods sold and will lead to a decrease in the gross profit. And with the importance,
We are waiting.
in the importance.
I need the answer in the next 3 seconds.
So with the importance, if the profit is going to reduce, which is when you don't actually factor in the returns,
Please.
Okay,
No,
so
Emeka, no, he has to talk. I need the answer now. Be deliberate about what you are saying.
So cost of goods sold is going to increase, thereby decreasing the gross profit or the net profit. And the importance is that if you don't factor in the returns, so you actually end up presenting a profit that doesn't reflect the actual financial.
I'll accept that. But just a reminder that you need to be as clear as possible in your response. You need to speak out clearly, please. Last set of questions for this round. Last set of questions for this round. We are going to do something on taxation. Under the provisions of the Income Tax Act 2015, Act 896, capital allowance is granted on depreciable assets used in the production of income. These assets are classified or categorized in specific classes, each with an applicable rate and method of depreciation for tax purposes. With reference to the provisions of the Income Tax Act and the practice note on capital allowances, identify the appropriate class, rate of depreciation, and method of depreciation for the following asset that I'm going to mention to you. Did you get a preamble? I'm going to mention some assets to you. Tell me the class they belong to. Tell me the depreciation or capital allowance rates, and tell me the method of depreciation. Beginning with the Valley View University once again. Valley View, yours is specialized trucks, trailers, and trailer-mounted containers. Specialized trucks, trailers, and trailer-mounted containers.
Okay, so we have the class to be class 2, and the rate of depreciation is 30%, and the method of depreciation is reducing balance method.
You are correct. Accra Technical University. Office furniture, fixtures and fittings. Office furniture, fixtures and fittings.
So that's class 3, which is 20%. And then it is reducing balance method.
Yes, you are right. University of Ghana, automobiles, buses and minibuses. Automobiles, buses and minibuses.
So the class is class 2, the rate is 30%, and the method of depreciation is reducing balance method.
Yes. On that note, we come to the end of round one. Valley View, how is it going?
It's been a work in progress.
Please come again.
It's been a work in progress.
Okay. University of Ghana, how is it going for you?
We are building momentum.
Accra Technical University, how is it going?
We are hoping for the best.
You are hoping for the best. Ladies and gentlemen, the scores for round one. At the end of round one, Accra Technical University had 8 points. Valley View University had 10 points, and the University of Ghana had 15 points. We are going into round two. This will involve calculations. You are free to use your calculators. You have 30 seconds within which to give me an answer. Each of you will attempt 6 major questions. For your major question, 2 attempts only for 3 points. Bonus is available to the 2 remaining schools. If you got it correct, 1 point. If you get it wrong, -1. We are beginning this round from the University of Ghana. University of Ghana. GCB Bank intends to increase its capital requirement. Therefore, it transferred an amount of 600,000 cedis to its stated capital from the retained earnings. Assess the tax payable under this circumstance. GCB Bank Limited intends to increase its capital requirement. Therefore, it transferred an amount of 600,000 cedis to its stated capital from retained earnings. Assess the tax payable under this circumstance.
So we have the value to be 3,000.
You have one other chance.
Okay, so when there's an increase in stated capital where there's a transfer, it attracts a rate of 3%. So the 3% will lead to an increase in tax. Your tax payable is now going to increase by 18,000.
I'm not taking that. Bonus is available. All right, so I'll give the answer later. Valley View University, your major question. Gual Ghana has retained earnings of 1.2 million cedis. The company decides to transfer 700,000 cedis into its stated capital. Calculate the applicable tax payable. Gual Ghana has retained earnings of 1.2 million cedis. The company decides to transfer 700,000 cedis into its stated capital. Calculate the applicable taxes payable.
We have the answer to be 175,000.
That is not correct. You have one other chance.
So there's no tax that will be charged on it.
There is tax. Bonus is available. The University of Ghana.
7,000.
No, it is not 7,000. Do you want to attempt? ATU. All right. Now your major question, Accra Technical University. Okay. So PwC intends to increase its capital requirements. Therefore, it transferred 400,000 cedis to its stated capital from its retained earnings. Assess the tax payable under this circumstance. PwC intends to increase its capital requirement. Therefore, it transferred 400,000 cedis to its stated capital from its retained earnings. Assess the tax payable under this circumstance.
$100,000.
It is not correct. You have one other chance.
60,000.
No, please. Bonus is available. All right. So let's. All right. So let's look at it this way. Now, when a company transfers an amount of money from its retained earnings to the stated capital, there are two main tax implications. One is a tax on deemed dividend, and the other is a stamp duty. So the deemed dividend, it is deemed that you've declared dividend, and that's at a rate of 8%, and the stamp duties are 0.5%. So you had a 0.5% correct earlier on, but you didn't add the dividend. Okay? So it wasn't 3,000, it is actually 51,000, because it is 3,000 plus 48,000. That should give you the 51,000. All right. Next set of questions. Still with you, University of Ghana. A factory produces 10,000 units per year of a part. The machine can produce 1,000 units per day. The usage rate is 200 units per day. Setup cost, 250 cedis. Holding cost, 2 cedis per unit per year. Calculate the optimal batch size using the economic production quantity formula. A factory produces 10,000 units per year of a part. The machine can produce 1,000 units per day. The usage rate is 200 units per day. Setup cost is 250 cedis. Holding cost is 2 cedis per unit per year. You have to calculate the optimal batch size using the economic production quantity formula.
$1,581.
No, you have one other chance.
So we have it to be 447.21.
It is also not correct. Bonus is available. Bailed out. I'll give the answer later. For Valley View University, a company needs 20,000 units of a part each year. The machine produces at 2,000 units per day with daily usage of 500 units. Setup cost is 300 cedis and holding cost is 4 cedis per unit per year. Calculate the optimal batch size using the economic production quantity formula. A company needs 20,000 units of a part each year. The machine produces at 2,000 units per day, while daily usage is 500 units. Setup cost is 500 cedis. No, its setup cost is 300 cedis, and holding cost is 4 cedis per unit per year. Calculate the optimal batch size using the economic production quantity formula.
$51.62.
No, please, you have one other chance.
$77.45.
That is also not correct. Bonus is available. All right. Accra Technical University, your major question. An auto parts manufacturer requires 15,000 parts annually. Production rate is 1,500 units per day. Usage is 300 units per day. Setup cost is 200 cedis. Holding cost is 1.5 cedis per unit per year. Calculate the economic production quantity. An auto parts manufacturer requires 15,000 parts annually. The production rate is 1,500 units per day. The usage is 300 units per day. The setup cost is 200 cedis. Holding cost is 1.5 cedis per unit per year. Compute the economic production quantity.
$34,641.016.
No, please, that's not correct. You have one other chance. Bailed out, bonus is available. Okay, so this is indeed the final. So for Accra Technical University, your answer was 2,236.07. For Valley View University, yours was 2,000 units. And for the University of Ghana, yours was 1,767.77 units. You can run that up. Next set of questions, I'm beginning from the Valley View University. Valley View University. Now, graphic business recorded the following annual sales. Year 1 is 250,000 cedis. Year 2, 260,000 cedis. Year 3 is 280,000 cedis. Derive the linear trend equation using the least squares method and use the trend equation to forecast sales for year 4. Graphic Business Limited recorded the following annual sales. Year 1 is 250,000. Year 2, 260,000. Year 3, 280,000. Derive the linear trend equation using the least squares method. Use the trend equation to forecast the sales for year 4. Even bailed out, bonus is available. Accra Technical University, your major question. Accra Technical University. CompuGhana Limited reports the following sales figures. Year 1 is 60,000. Year 2, 70,000. Year 3, 90,000. Derive the linear trend equation using the least squares method. Forecast the expected sales for year 4 using the equation. CompuGhana Limited reports the following sales figures. Year 1 is 60,000 cedis. Year 2, 70,000 cedis. Year 3, 90,000 cedis. Derive the linear trend equation using the least squares method. Forecast the expected sales for year 4 using the equation.
So expected sales for year 4 is 130,000.
That is not correct. You have one other chance.
Expected sales is 120,000.
It is also not correct. Bonus is available. You've exhausted your chance. University of Ghana.
So the trend is y is equal to 15,000 s plus 45,000, and the expected sales for year 4 is 105,000.
No. You were close, but it is not correct. Now your major question. Now University of Ghana. University of Ghana. Able Limited has reported its revenue over the past 3 years as follows. Year 1 is 300,000. Year 2 is 320,000. Year 3 is 340,000. Determine the linear trend equation using the least squares estimation. Predict the revenue for year 4 based on the trend. Able Limited has reported its revenue over the past 3 years as follows. Year 1, 300,000. Year 2, 320,000. Year 3, 340,000. Determine the linear trend equation using the least squares estimation. Predict the revenue for year 4 based on the trend you've computed.
Okay, so the trend is y is equal to 280,000 plus 20,000 x. Then for year 4, it is 360,000.
Yes. Next set of questions. Valley View University. ABC Limited. ABC Limited has the following data. I believe this one will be more familiar to you. ABC Limited has the following data. Net income is 300,000 cedis. Revenue is 1 million cedis. Total asset is 2 million cedis. And the shareholders' equity is 1.5 million cedis. Calculate the return on equity using the DuPont analysis. ABC Limited has the following data. Net income is 300,000 cedis. Revenue is 1 million cedis. Total asset is 2 million cedis. Shareholders' equity is 1.5 million cedis. Calculate the return on equity using the DuPont analysis.
66%.
It's not correct, you've been billed that bonus is available. University of Ghana.
20%.
Yes, if you run about 20%. Accra Technical University. XYZ Limited reports the following data. Net income is 400,000 cedis. Revenue is 2 million cedis. Total assets 5 million cedis. Shareholders' equity 2.5 million cedis. Calculate the return on equity using the DuPont analysis. XYZ Limited reports the following data. The net income is 400,000. Revenue is 2 million cedis. Total assets is 5 million cedis, and the shareholders' equity is 2.5 million cedis. Calculate the return on equity using the DuPont analysis.
16%.
Yes. University of Ghana. University of Ghana. All right. Let's go on. Felix Thai Limited recorded the following data. Net income is 250,000 cedis. Revenue is 1 million cedis. Total asset is 2.5 million cedis. And the shareholders' equity is 2 million cedis. Calculate the return on equity using the DuPont analysis. Felix Tell Limited recorded the following. Net income is 250,000, revenue 1 million cedis, total asset 2.5 million cedis. The shareholders' equity is 2 million cedis. Calculate the return on equity using the DuPont analysis.
12.5%.
Yes. For our next set of questions, we are beginning with Accra Technical University, ATU. MTN Limited is conducting a survey to gather customer feedback. They plan to distribute the survey via email to 25,000 customers at a cost of 0.1 cedis per mail. The expected response rate is 5%, and each completed survey earns a reward of 2 cedis. Calculate the total cost of the email distribution, the total reward cost, and the overall cost of the survey. MTN Limited is conducting a survey to gather customer feedback. They plan to distribute the survey via email to 25,000 customers at a cost of 0.1 CD per email. The expected response rate is 5%, and each completed survey earns a reward of 2 CDs. Calculate the total cost of the email distribution, the total reward cost, and the overall cost of the survey.
Okay, so the cost of the survey is 2,500, and then the reward too is 2,500.
So the cost of the survey is 2,500. Then the response cost is 1,500, and then the reward cost is 2,500.
2 out of 3. So I keep advising that you pay attention to the question. All right. University of Ghana. ICAG is conducting a telephone survey campaign. They contract a call center to make exactly 5,000 calls at a fixed rate of 1 CD per call. Out of these, 2,000 respondents are expected to complete the survey, and each will receive a 10 CD gift card as a reward. Calculate the total cost center cost, the total gift card cost, and the overall cost of the survey. ICAG is conducting a telephone survey campaign. They contract a call center to make exactly 5,000 calls at a fixed rate of 1 CD per call. Out of these, 2,000 responses are expected to complete the survey, and each will receive 10 CD gift card as a reward. Calculate the total call center cost, the total gift card cost, and the overall cost of the survey.
So the total cost is 5,000. The total gift cost is 20,000, and the overall cost is 25,000.
Yes. Valley View University. Valley View. Piva Beverages is conducting an in-store customer survey campaign. They hire staff at a rate of 15 cedis per hour for a total of 100 hours of work. During the campaign, exactly 200 customers complete the survey, and each respondent receives 3 cedis discount coupon as a reward. Calculate the total labor cost, the total coupon cost, and overall cost of the survey. Piva Beverages is conducting an in-store customer survey campaign. They hire staff at a rate of 15 cedis per hour for a total of 100 hours of work. During the campaign, exactly 200 customers complete the survey, and each respondent receives a 3 CD discount coupon as a reward. Calculate the total labor cost, the total coupon cost, and overall cost of the survey.
So we have the total labor cost to be 1,500. The discount is 600, and the overall cost is 900. The overall cost is 2,100.
Please come again this time with your figures. I need only one. I need the figures as they should be. Start.
So the labor cost is 1,500. The discount is 600, and the overall cost is 2,100.
That is correct. All right. Last set of questions for the round. Last set of questions. Because you didn't get my earlier taxation question, I want to come back with another tax question. Just for the violence, yes. No, but this should be manageable. Accra Technical University. Accra Technical University. All right. NSJC rents out a property for 4,000 cedis per month. 75% is used for business purposes and 25% for residential purposes. Calculate the annual rental income tax payable. NSJC rents out a property for 4,000 cedis per month. 75% is used for business purposes and 25% for residential purposes. Calculate the annual rental income tax payable.
So for business purposes, the tax will be 45,000, and then residential purposes 8,000.
That is
for the
even bailed out. Bonus is available. University of Ghana.
So the total annual for the commercial property is 5,400. The residential, the total for the annual is 960, which gives a total of 6,360.
Yes. Let's go on. Okay. Please. So Malik has a building which he rents out for 6,000 cedis monthly, with half used for a retail shop and the other half for family residence. Determine the rental income tax payable annually. Malik has a building which he rents out at 6,000 cedis monthly, with half of the building used for a retail shop and the other half for family residence. Determine the rental income tax payable annually. You've been bailed out. Bonus is available. It was your major question, University of Ghana. Valley View University.
Okay, so for the business purpose, we have it as 5,400, and for the residential purpose, 2,880, and for the total, it is 8,280.
Yes. You will need to be present here, okay? Be present. Last set of questions for the round. Last set. And that goes to Valley View University. The last question for the round. All right. So, Mr. Samuel Ansa rents out a building for 3,000 cedis per month. 60% of the space is used for business, and 40% is used for residential purposes. Calculate the total rental income tax due for the year. Mr. Samuel Ansa rents out a building for 3,000 cedis per month. 60% of the space is used for business, and 40% is used for residential purposes. Calculate the total rental income tax due for the year.
Okay, so for the residential tax, it will be 3,240, and for the business is 3,240, residential is 1,152, and the total is 4,392.
Yes. On that note, we come to the end of round 2. Please show some love. We have 4 more rounds to go. We have 4 more rounds to go to decide the winner. We are reminded that the program is brought to us by Graphic Business and ICAG. Massive thanks to MTN for making connections happen and for learning to be possible everywhere you go. PwC is delivering impact where it matters most. We are honored to have you support this platform. For God Ghana, they are proudly Ghanaian. They are powering every mile and every mind in this Tertiary Business Science Challenge. Piva Beverages, keeping all of us cool, calm, and then competitive. Glyco Ghana are providing us with a peace of mind today for a confident tomorrow. Thanks for believing in the power of knowledge. For Compu Ghana, they are bringing digital gaps and transformation in our classrooms. For GCB Bank, they are standing tall with education, with finance, as well as the future of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, the scores for round 2. At the end of round 2, Accra Technical University had 5 points, Valley View University had 7 points, and the University of Ghana had 9 points. We'll go straight into round 3, which is the business case of the day. All 3 schools have been presented with a common problem. They will work it out as a team and present the solution to us. Please, you may pick up your problem. All right, so let's take our business case of the day together. The table below shows the incomes of 3 employees of Gajokawa Limited in 2024 year of assessment. So we have James, we have Bernice, and we have Felix. There's a basic salary for each of them, medical allowance, rent allowance, fuel allowance, as well as the total cash emolument. Besides the cash emolument stated above, the employees received loans from the employer as follows. James received a loan of 24,000 cedis at a rate of 5%, payable within 12 months. Bernice received a loan of 48,000 cedis at a rate of 8%, payable within 24 months. Felix received a loan of 100,000 cedis at a rate of 10%, payable within 36 months. This loan is in addition to an outstanding loan of 50,000 cedis with the same terms and conditions during the previous 12 months. Assume that the statutory rate is 30% per annum. Required. Determine the loan benefits applicable to each of the 3 employees for the 2024 year of assessment. That is our business case of the day. You have 10 minutes within which to present your solution for 10 marks. You may begin now. work? Okay. Are you, please come back. Are you going to be substituted anytime soon? Okay, so, or you cannot hold on. Okay. Then go and come. Then come. Are you okay? Are you okay? John, you are okay? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome back from the commercial break. This is still the Tertiary Business Science Challenge 2025 version 7.0. It is a zonal final, Southeast Zone. We are in the third round, the business case of the day. The three schools were presented with a common problem, something on taxation of loan benefits, and they have worked out their solutions. Let's examine what we expected of them. 3 employees of Gajokawa Limited. So what were we expecting from them? Okay, so for a loan benefit to be taxable, certain conditions need to be present or not present. And once those those conditions are met, the loan may be taxable or not liable to tax. So generally, if the loan period does not exceed 12 months, it is not liable to tax. Again, if you have no similar loan that was granted to you in the past 12 months, then that also means that your loan may not be taxable. And again, if the loan does not exceed 3 months of your basic salary, it is also not taxable. So these are key principles that were examined in this illustration. So let's look at what we gave them. For James, the basic salary for James was 120,000 cedis for the whole year. So we needed to first find out the 3-month basic salary. If we should do the computation, you get a figure of about 30,000 cedis. So in the first instance, because it is less than, the loan is less than the 3-month salary, it is not taxable. Similarly, James has no similar loan that is outstanding during the past 12 months. This also means the benefit will not be taxable. Again, the loan was given to him for a brief period, not up to a year. That also means it is not taxable. So for the first one, you should be able to tell me that the loan is not taxable, and you get 2 points. Second one was Bernice. Bernice has a basic salary of 160,000 cedis. We are also told that the loan was for a period of 24 months. 24 months exceed 1 year. So this indicates that it may be taxable. When we compute her 3-month basic salary, that is about 40,000 cedis. 40,000 cedis. And then the loan that was granted to her was 48,000 cedis. So the loan exceeds a 3-month basic salary. That also means it's taxable. So now that we've concluded that it's taxable, we can now go ahead and then compute the tax. If you compute it well, you have a tax figure of 2,640 for the period. And that should earn you 4 marks for the 2. The third one was Felix. We are told that Felix has a loan repayment period of 36 months. This exceeds 12 months, so it is taxable. Again, he has an outstanding loan under the same conditions. That is 50,000 cedis plus the current one he's applying for of 100,000 cedis. And these also exceed his 3-month basic salary of 45,000. So once again, that is taxable. If you should work it out, the taxable benefit comes to about 7,500. So that should also be for some 4 marks. In all, you have 10 marks. Let's look at what they did. Beginning from the Accra Technical University. Oh, are they? All right. So they began by quoting the formula. That is fine. But they did not take cognizance of the fact that James will not pay tax. They computed tax for James. That is not correct. Even for Felix and Bernice, who are taxable, they did not make a headway in terms of the computations. I'm unable to accept what they have done, but for their effort, I give them 1 out of 10. Next one is Valley View University. That is what I have before me. They also did not indicate that James would not be liable to tax, so they have no point there. For the benefit for Bernice, they could not compute that as well. Same as for Felix. But for their effort, I'll give them 1 out of 10. University of Ghana. They computed James' 3-month salary as 30,000. And then they wrote, This amount is more than the loan amount and within 12-month period. Therefore, he does not qualify for any loan benefit. Therefore, the loan benefit for James is nil. That is correct. For Bernice, they computed her 3-month basic salary to be 40,000, and they wrote, this amount is less than the loan amount of 48,000, and the period is more than 12 months. Hence, a loan benefit is applicable as follows. And then they computed and had a figure of 2,640. That is correct. For Felix, they computed his basic salary to be 45,000. This amount is less than the loan amount with an exceeding loan. Oh, hey, a Mecca in your handwriting. All right, but the long and short of it is that also was taxable, and he had a tax of 7,500. That is correct. All right. So for their effort, they get 10 out of 10. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll go for a very quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Coding speed of 11 tasks per day. Operate at 80% efficiency. Determine how many days each team will take to complete the project. Back if you should lose this one. A place at the semi-final is what is at stake. You are tempted to score. Bonus for Central University. On that note, we come to the end of round 4A, ladies and gentlemen. Next set of questions, University of Education, Winneba. The 2024 edition of the Tertiary Business Science Challenge has finally come to an end. How do you assess your own performance? My name is Al Hassan Yusuf Trauli, and I welcome you all to join in this violence. Audience is ready. Studio audience, I must say, are gingered up. Last quarterfinal contest for day 1 is upon us. To Mudaraba and Musharaka in Islamic finance. I asked you to state and explain. You haven't explained. I want you to explain the points that you have mentioned. Join me as we want to experience some academic violence this afternoon. Team Gamma, 8 members with individual coding speed of 11 tasks per day. Operate at 80% efficiency. Determine how many days each team will take to complete the project. Back if you should lose this one. A place at the semi-final is what is at stake. You are tempted to score. Bonus for Central University. On that note, we come to the end of round 4A, ladies and gentlemen. Next set of questions, University of Education, Winneba. The 2024 edition of the Tertiary Business Science Challenge has finally come to an end. How do you assess your own performance? My name is Al Hassan Yusuf Trauli, and I welcome you all to join in this violence. Audience is ready. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome back from the commercial break. Please give them some appreciation. Round of applause. Okay. All right. So we are going into round 4, but I believe the schools want to make a substitution. But before you leave the stage, those who are going to be substituted, your final comment or word before you leave. How has the experience been like for you? Valley View University, the one who is living, if there is anyone living.
It's been a work in progress still.
For you personally, how has it been for you?
It's been enlightening and shows that there is more room for improvement.
Okay, definitely. For University of Ghana, if there's someone living, what are your final thoughts?
It's been a nice experience, and I'm ready to build on it.
Okay, that's fine. Accra Technical University.
I shall bounce back stronger.
Please, let's listen to him.
So it's been a nice competition, and I expect that next year or next time we shall bounce back stronger.
All right. So, please. So while they leave, before they leave, the scores for round 3 again. Accra Technical University at Valley View had 1 point. University of Ghana had 10 points. You may effect your substitution. So, gentlemen and lady, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Introduce yourself, please. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Nelson Kobna Bachman. We take accounting level 300.
You are welcome, sir.
Thank you.
University of Ghana.
I'm Dennis Kwekunati, third year banking and finance.
Can you come again?
Dennis Kwekunati, third year banking and finance.
Third year, banking and finance. Okay, that's fine. Valley View University, introduce yourself.
Person of Victoria to 4 Boating. Level 300, BB accounting.
You are welcome, madam. Ladies and gentlemen, round 4. In this round, I'm going to ask them questions on some stories that appeared in the graphic business newspapers. For the purpose of this contest, we're examining them on stories that appeared in the 20th and 27th May, as well as the 3rd June editions. Each school will attempt 6 major questions. For a major question, you have 10 seconds to give an answer. If you get it correct, you have 3 points. If it's a bonus and you get it correct, 1 point. If you lose a bonus, -1. Bonus is 5 seconds in 1 attempt only. We are beginning this round from the Valley View University. Valley View University. Please, common preamble to all 3 schools. Kindly take notes. Common preamble. The latest Treasury auction, as reported in the 20th May edition of the Graphic Business, has sparked concerns about waning investor appetite for domestic debt, as the government rejected bids despite falling short of its target. This marks the 3rd consecutive week of undersubscription, with total bids submitted below the auction targets. That's a common preamble. Please, did we get that? Did you get a preamble? Legon, did you get a preamble? Valley View, did you get a preamble? On TMU. Now your major question. Valley View. How much was in the bid for 182-day T-bills? How much was rejected? What was the percentage accepted? How much was in bid for the 182-day T-bills? How much was rejected? What was the percentage accepted?
So it attracted 713 million Ghana cedis, and the accepted was 514 million Ghana cedis, and the rejected is 0.39 million Ghana cedis.
You've been bailed out. I'm not accepting that. Bonus is available. University of Ghana.
So the total bid is 731 million. We have the rejection to be 218 million. And then the percentage accepted was 70. We have 70.118%.
Yes. Accra Technical University. How much was in bids for 91-day T-bills? How much was rejected? What was the percentage accepted? How much was in the bids for 91-day treasury bills? How much was rejected? What was the percentage accepted?
So there was 4.69 billion, and then they accepted. They rejected 2.45 billion, and then the percentage change, or the percentage, the percentage is 2.24%.
That is not correct. Bonus is available. University of Ghana.
Okay, so with the 91-day treasury bills, we have a rejected value of 2.27 billion Ghana cedis, and the bid submitted was 4.36, and the percentage accepted is 47.94%.
I'll accept that. Now, University of Ghana. University of Ghana. How much was in bid for 364-day T-bills? How much was rejected? What was the percentage accepted? How much was in the bid accepted for 364-day T-bills? How much was rejected? What was the percentage accepted?
So we have the submission to be 270 million Ghana cedis, rejected to be 116, and percentage to be 57.04%.
Yes. Next. Valley View University, your major question. Valley View, please pay attention. According to the latest annual non-traditional export statistics report by the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Benin and Liberia were the only markets with growth in 2024. What three factors may have contributed to this growth? Benin and Liberia were the only markets with growth in 2024. What three factors may have contributed to this growth?
So the improvement of the improvement of Ghanaian products, the improvement of the improvement of policies implemented, as well as the growth in the private sector policies, trade liberalization schemes that was implemented as well.
Because you mentioned trade, I'll give you 1 out of 3. Accra Technical University, your major question. According to the latest report, that's a non-traditional export statistics report by GEPA, exports to Mali, Niger, and Guinea all declined in 2024. What three factors may have contributed to this growth? That's a negative growth. Exports to Mali, Niger, and Guinea all declined in 2024. What three factors may have contributed to this?
So we have the high exchange rate and the restricted tariffs, the implementation of tariffs, and and uh, and our Greek.
You've been bailed out. Bonus is available. University of Ghana.
So we have one to be security concerns, we have regional instability, and then poor trade logistics.
Yes. Now to you, University of Ghana. Your major question. According to the same report, exports to Nigeria in 2024, despite Nigeria being Ghana's largest economic partner in the region, so exports to Nigeria declined. What three factors may have contributed to this? Despite, or export to Nigeria in 2024 declined, despite Nigeria being Ghana's largest economic partner in the region. What three factors may have contributed to this?
We have one to be foreign exchange restrictions, we have higher inflation and cross-border policies.
Yes. For our next set of questions, we are beginning with the Accra Technical University, ATU. Common preamble to all three of you. Common preamble to all three of you. The 2025 Customer Satisfaction and Brand Health Reports evaluated overall service quality using the SEFPEF model, focusing on 5 key dimensions. You have to identify and explain briefly any one of these dimensions.
Okay, so the first, we have tangible. This talks about the physical asset of the banks. So that's their facilities and then their staffs.
I'll accept that. University of Ghana, please go ahead.
Okay, so another factor of the SEFPEF is responsiveness.
Okay.
So with this factor, this talks about the ability of banks to meet customers' requirements in an efficient manner. So the report also went ahead to give us to emphasize on Car Bank leading the whole.
I'm not sure I asked that addition. It's okay. We know you know. Valley View University. Valley View University.
So we have reliability.
You have what?
Reliability.
Okay.
For reliability, it shows that the banks, the banks are trusted people. That's the companies, customers can depend on them when needed. When they prompt them anything, they make sure they do it for them.
Yes. Next set of questions, common preamble to all three schools. Common preamble. Raymond Denter's article on reviving Ghana's poultry industry, call to action, a 25% import substitution challenge, explores what such a 25% import goal entails, what it will take to reach it, and why now is the time to act. He identifies production and input benchmarks that must be met to fulfill the 25% import substitution target. You have to identify and explain briefly any three of these benchmarks that are provided. Any three of the benchmarks provided in the article by Raymond Denter.
Okay, so they will need annual broilers of 66.7 million, and then weekly broilers will be 1.28 million, and then for feed, the total feed that they will need is 222,222.
That's fine. University of Ghana. University of Ghana, I'm waiting.
Okay, so with the maize factor, Raymond Denter dove into a percentage of 65%, amounting
For what?
60%
For
maize.
Maize, okay.
Amounting to 133,333. And with a SOA, a percentage of 35%, amounting to 77,778. And also with the last factor I'll make mention of is actually the 527,000 breeding system being established by Raymond Denter.
That should be fine, yes. So it's soya, not soa. Now, Valley View University.
So we have day-old chicken. Day-old chicks. That is, if we want to achieve this 25% of the 400,000 metric tons, we have to provide, or we have to get 1.35 metric tons of 1.35 million of metric tons in the within a per week, and we also have weekly broiler requirements. That is, we have to provide 1.28 million.
That was mentioned.
Okay.
That was mentioned by ATU.
So we have total substitution volume. The total substitution volume, we have to substitute 25% of the 400,000 metric tons. That is 100,000 metric tons per volume per week, and annually. And we also provide infrastructure processes. That is, we have to provide code and infrastructure projects so that
it's okay. It's okay. Thank you. All right. For our next set of questions, we are beginning with the University of Ghana. University of Ghana. Okay, so which author wrote an article titled "The Future is African: Investing in Youth, Innovation and Sustainability" in the June 3 edition of the Graphic Business? The hint is that he's the head, product, personal and private banking at Stanbic Bank, Ghana. Which author wrote an article titled "The Future is African: Investing in Youth, Innovation and Sustainability" in the June 3 edition of the Graphic Business? The hint is that he's the head, product, personal and private banking at Stanbic Bank, Ghana.
Kwame Ofori-Ofe.
Yes. Valley View University. Valley View University. Which author wrote the article on complexities of management in international business in the 3rd June edition of the Graphic Business? The hint is that he's a lawyer with specialization in international business. Which author wrote an article in the June 3 edition of the Graphic Business titled "Complexities of Management in International Business"? He is a lawyer with specialization in international business.
We have Pastro.
That is not correct. Bonus, did you ring? Okay, go ahead.
Joseph Achiampong Esquire.
Yes. So going forward, we'll need to declare a bonus before you ring. If you do that again next time, I'm not going to accept that. Yes. Now, your major question, Accra Technical University. Which author wrote the article on marketing for SMEs, a strategic imperative for growth, in the June 3 edition of the Graphic Business? The hint is that he's the head of marketing department at the University of Professional Studies, Accra. Which author wrote the article on marketing for SMEs, a strategic imperative for growth, in the June 3 edition of the Graphic Business? He is the head of marketing at the University of Professional Studies, Accra.
Dr. Ibn Abdel Amin.
I'll accept that. Okay, so let's take our last set of questions for this round. We are beginning again with the University of Ghana. Common preamble to all of you. The maiden edition of the Daily Graphic EcoBank Ghana Economic Forum was held in Accra on the theme, A Broad Review of the Economy of Ghana, Then, Now, and the Way Forward. Various key speakers spoke at the program. Your question is to identify any one of the key speakers and the issues that they raised. Identify any one key speaker at the maiden edition of the Daily Graphic EcoBank Ghana Economic Forum held in Accra, beginning with the University of Ghana.
Okay, so I'm going with Mr. Seth Tekpe, who happens to be the current presidential advisor. So he spoke on outmoded policy. Mr. Seth Tekpe made mention of Ghanaian shifting its attention from agriculture being a key driver of GDP to service. So he encouraged Ghana to utilize their service industry, since as it stands now, it actually establishes itself as the key driver of the GDP.
It is correct. Valley View University. Valley View University.
So we have Mr. Abeku Jan Kwansa, PwC tax partner. He spoke about tax exemptions. He said when tax exemptions are being implemented, the citizens should question them about the tax exemptions that are being brought before they are being approved at the parliament. And also he spoke about tax professionals being doing the work of being.
It's okay, I'll accept it. It's fine.
Okay,
Accra Technical University.
We have Professor Peter Kote. He said something on either we diversify or we perish. So he said Ghana is currently depending mostly on its gold exportation, which contribute to 50% of the income that Ghana gets from its export. So for us as a country, we must diversify for gold exportation and then concentrate on adding value to agricultural products.
That is correct. So on that note, we come to the end of round 4. Ladies and gentlemen. This is a zonal final. It is a contest among 3 institutions, the Accra Technical University, University of Ghana, and the Valley View University. All 3 are competing to earn the title Zonal Champion, but only one will get it at the end of the contest. At the end of round 4, the scores. At the end of round 4, Valley View University had 10 points, Accra Technical University had 13 points, and the University of Ghana had 21 points. We are going into true or false segments. In this round, I'm going to read out some statements to you. Very interesting ones. Yours is to tell me if the statement is true or false. If you get it correct, 2 points. If you get it wrong, -1. You may decide not to answer, in which case the other schools may ring for it. The first school to ring will be required to answer in 10 seconds. If they get it correct, 2 points. If they get it wrong, -1. There will be 6 major questions for each of you. Please, are we ready? ATU, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
University of Ghana, are we ready? Okay, and then Valley View University? If you are not ready, let me know.
We are ready.
Okay. Okay, so let's go on. We are beginning this round from the Accra Technical University, ATU. ATU, let's ask questions on the 8-step change model by Cotes or Cotes. Beginning with your Accra Technical University. Cotes model treats change as a linear process in which each step must be completed before the next step begins. Cotes model treats change as a linear process in which each step must be completed before the next one begins.
False.
It is false. University of Ghana. The Cotes model suggests that cultural change happens automatically once systems and structures are changed. The Cotes model suggests that cultural change happens automatically once systems and structures are changed.
That's a true statement.
It is not a true statement. Valley View University. In the model, developing a vision and strategy for change comes after empowering employees and removing obstacles. In the model, the Cotes model, developing a vision and strategy for change comes after empowering employees and removing obstacles.
False.
It is false. ATU, a low price to earnings ratio, that is PE ratio, may indicate that a company's stock is undervalued. A low PE ratio may indicate that a company's stock is undervalued.
Yes, it's true.
Yes, it's true. University of Ghana, a high inventory turnover ratio indicates that a company efficiently manages its inventory. A high inventory turnover ratio indicates that a company efficiently manages its inventory.
True.
Yes, true. Valley View University, a high account receivable turnover ratio may indicate that a company has difficulty collecting its receivables. A high account receivable turnover ratio may indicate that a company has difficulty collecting its receivables.
True.
It is not true. So the account receivable turnover ratio is different from the account receivable collection period. Next set of questions beginning with the University of Ghana. University of Ghana. We are doing something on conflict management, specifically on task conflict. University of Ghana, task conflict is more detrimental in the early stages of team formation than in later stages. Task conflict is more detrimental in the early stages of team formation than in later stages.
True.
It is true. Valley View University, task conflict that persists without resolution often evolves into process conflict. Task conflict that persists without resolution often results into process conflict.
True.
No. Accra Technical University, task conflict is most beneficial when team members have high levels of psychological safety. Task conflict is most beneficial when team members have high levels of psychological safety.
It's false.
It is not false. We are going to marketing dynamic pricing, still with the University of Ghana starting for us. University of Ghana, dynamic pricing cannot be used in regulated markets like electricity or public transportation. Dynamic pricing cannot be used in regulated markets like electricity or public transportation.
That's a false statement.
It is a false statement. Valley View University. Valley View University, dynamic pricing is only effective in industries with perishable goods or time-sensitive services. Dynamic pricing is only effective in industries with perishable goods or time-sensitive services.
False.
Yes, it's false. Accra Technical University. In a dynamic pricing system, setting a price floor and ceiling is irrelevant since prices should adjust freely. In a dynamic pricing system, setting a price floor and price ceiling is irrelevant since prices should adjust freely.
False.
Yes, it's false. Valley View University will start the next set of questions for us. Valley View, a leptoketic distribution has a higher peak, that is a thin bell, and a taller tails than a normal distribution. A leptoketic distribution has a higher peak and taller tails than a normal distribution.
True.
Yes, it's true. Accra Technical University. A leptoketic distribution has both a higher likelihood of values near the mean and a higher likelihood of extreme values. A leptoketic distribution has both a higher likelihood of values near the mean and a higher likelihood of extreme values.
It's false.
It is not false. University of Ghana. A leptoketic distribution always have a skewness greater than 0. Leptoketic distributions always have a skewness greater than 0.
True.
No. Now the last set of questions for the round. Valley View University. The value of a taxable gift is the market value of the gift as at the time of filing the return. The value of a taxable gift is the market value of the gift as at the time of filing the return.
False.
It's false. ATU. Transfers made for less than adequate consideration may be treated as gifts for tax purposes. Transfers that are made for less than adequate consideration may be treated as gifts for tax purposes.
True.
Yes. University of Ghana. University of Ghana. A gift of a property with restrictions on its use is valid for tax purposes based on its restricted market value. A gift of property with restrictions on the use is valid for tax purposes based on its restricted market value.
False.
It is not false. It's true. On that note, we come to the end of round 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one more round to go to determine the winner of the contest. Yes. It is very interesting. It's been back to back, highly unpredictable. We are going into the final round. ATU, how do you assess the contest as a whole?
So this contest has been a tough contest for us, and then we've put up our best. Just that it wasn't enough. So we will prepare better next time. And then come.
University of Ghana, how will you assess the contest overall?
With our assessment, the contest has been an evidence that it is a zonal finals.
Valley View University, how do you assess the contest so far?
So, we have identified a lot of our mistakes and we'll definitely work on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the scores for round 5. The University of Ghana had 3 points. ATU and VVO both had 6 points. And now to the last round, riddles. 5 riddles in all. Riddles are open to all 3 schools. If you are ready, you need to ring a bell. Let me hear the bell from ATU. University of Ghana. Valley View University. Now, when you ring a bell, you have 10 seconds to give an answer. If you get it wrong, you can no longer partake in that particular riddle. If there are further clues, I'll read them to the hearing of the remaining 2 schools, or even 1. Depending on the clue at which you answer, you may get 5 points for answering on the first clue, 4 points on second clue, 3 points on any other clue thereafter. 5 riddles in all. Riddle number 1. Please, no form of whispering or communication is permitted. We want there to be some silence at this stage. Riddle number 1. I'm a legal doctrine used to describe certain kinds of contracts. I can occur in a contract where a party is in a critical situation, example, medical situation or medical emergency, and agrees to a contract without fully understanding its implications. I protect vulnerable parties from exploitation by Valley View University.
Questionable contract.
Yes, unconscionable contract is correct. They answered on the third clue 3 points. Riddle number 2. Riddle number 2. I am one of the many corporate finance tactics. I gained prominence in the 1980s and I'm often used to avoid a full-blown takeover by a hostile shareholder. 2. I have faced criticism as I can lead to unnecessary expenses for the target company, potentially hurting its shareholders and diverting resources from legitimate business opportunities or operations. Although I am legal, I am seen to be controversial and often frowned upon. In some jurisdictions, I can trigger regulatory scrutiny. Many companies have adopted provisions in their bylaws or shareholder agreements against me. 4. I am the corporate takeover tactics, where a shareholder acquires a significant stake in the company, then threatens a hostile takeover unless the company buys back their shares at a premium. University of Ghana.
Greenmill.
Yes, Greenmill. They answered on the fourth clue 3 points. Riddle number 3. I am a mathematical representation in game theory and economic theory. My cooperation can lead to positive outcomes for all involved. I often involve complex interactions and strategies where players need to consider the potential for both competition and cooperation. Some of my examples include trade negotiations, University of Ghana.
Nash equilibrium.
I'm not sure I want to take Nash equilibrium. So I'll continue. Some of the examples include trade negotiations where both countries could benefit from mutually agreeable terms, or even conflict where a peaceful resolution could benefit all parties. 5, a situation where the gains and losses of all participants do not cancel out, meaning it is possible for both sides to win, both to lose, or for one to gain more than the other. Who am I? ATU.
Prison's dilemma.
No, it is not prisoner's dilemma. Now, Valley View University, you have the floor. It is known as a non-zero sum game. The non-zero sum game. Riddle number 4. Riddle number 4. I am an interactive experience that combines the real world and computer-generated TD content. Valley View University.
This is the augmented reality.
It is indeed augmented reality. They answered on the first clue 5 points. 5 points. Riddle number 5, the last one, and the last question for the contest. I represent an age category of consumers that a business can target. This target group represents a unique demographic group with their own interests, values, and consumer behavior patterns. They are key targets for marketers because they are brand conscious early. They influence family purchases like toys, clothes, food, gadgets, and companies can use them to build brand loyalty from a young age.
Early adopters.
What?
Early adopters.
It is not early adopters. University of Ghana, you also wrong.
Influencers.
No, that is also not correct. So now Accra Technical University, it is for you. I refer to children typically aged between 8 and 12 years old, who are in between being young children and full teenagers. My name is a portmanteau of the words teen and between, in the sense of between childhood and adolescence. Who am I? Yes. ATU.
Believers.
Sure. Audience, okay, audience. Yeah, so it's actually twin-agers, or twinny, or preteen. So there are actually many names, either preteen, twin-agers, twinny, or whichever. That is a put. Oh dear. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the contest. You want to share the grace? It's been interesting. For University of Ghana, I want to believe this is the tightest zonal contest you've ever experienced, right? Yeah, that is how it goes. We improve on year by year. Ladies and gentlemen, the scores for round 6. So before we give the final results, Valley View University, the contest has successfully come to an end. Your participation in the zonal championship overall, how has the experience been?
Our maiden appearance was last year, and we made it to the semi-final. This year we made it to the final. Next year we are coming to take the cup.
Ladies and gentlemen, notice has duly been served. Let those who are concerned take notes. They say they are coming for the trophy next year. We are waiting for them, okay. But that doesn't mean, Valley View doesn't mean that you've considered defeat in this contest.
Until the final result.
Accra Technical University, overall, how do you assess this year's zonal championship?
Okay, so it has been a mixed feeling. First, we are privileged to be on this platform, and then secondly, last year we couldn't progress to this stage. By God's grace, we are here this year, and then God will next year too will be coming.
What will be one major takeaway from this contest, this particular contest?
Okay, so it's the essence of teamwork.
Okay. University of Ghana. So at the start of the contest, I mentioned that this was your 3rd consecutive zonal final appearance. How does this How does it compare? How does this compare with the previous 3 that you were in?
So with the comparison is a form of an appreciation to the other schools that looking at our contest yesterday, there was a level of intimidation from them. I mean, they'll have been intimidated, but regardless of that, they still stood their grounds to give us a good contest. So with the comparison is that every year the intensity becomes higher.
So now, how will you assess this year's zonal championship? Not limited to this zone overall, not limited to the southeast zone, the general zonal performances. And how do you situate yourself in that?
Okay, so with the general zonal performance, it looks like now the underdogs are now. So what I'm trying to say is that the underdogs, by underdogs, I'm talking about the schools that have never won. So they know that regardless of the fact that you've never won, they had to put in their work. So from the northern zone, the middle zone, the southwest, there's always been a school that we didn't, most people didn't expect them to give you a good performance, but they end up delivering. So even though you've won, even though they haven't, even though they haven't had a good performance in the previous versions, they make sure that when they come back, they do better. And where we situate ourselves is, it looks like all of them want to win next year, and I'm beginning to wonder, what are we going to do next year?
Ladies and gentlemen, what are the final results for the contest? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have successfully brought the contest to an end. At the end of the contest, the final results. Accra Technical University had 33 points. Valley View University had 42 points. University of Ghana had 61 points. So, ladies and gentlemen, by this results, and by the powers in me vested as a quiz master of the Tertiary Business Sense Challenge, I hereby declare that still, the champion for the Southeast Zone is the University of Ghana. Congratulations to you, University of Ghana.
Thank you.
All right. So for Valley View and ATU, I think you give a very good account of yourselves. Your coaches will be proud of you. So you will need to go and prepare better for the national championship. Since the two of you have qualified, or all three schools have qualified to the national championship. So I'll see you on the national stage. So ladies and gentlemen, 4 zones, 4 zonal champions. From the Northern Zone, we have SD Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies. From the Middle Zone, we have the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. From the Southwest Zone, we have the University of Education, Winneba. And for the Southeast Zone, we have the University of Ghana. Congratulations to all 4 champions. Ladies and gentlemen, the zonal contests have been completed. From all 4 zones, we have 16 schools qualified to appear on the national stage. The 16 are as follows. From the Northern Zone, we have 2 schools. SD Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies from WA in the Upper West region. Tamale Technical University from Tamale in the northern region. From the middle zone, we have 3 schools. We have the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. We have the Zonal runner-up, University of Energy and Natural Resources. And we have the second runner-up from that zone, that is the Christian Service University. From the Southwest zone, we have 3 distinguished universities. We have the champion University of Education, Winneba. We have the University of Cape Coast as runner-up. And we have the Koforidua Technical University as the second runner-up. From the Southeast zone, we have 8 distinguished universities. We have the University of Ghana as champions. We have Valley View University as runner-up. We have the Accra Technical University as 3rd place. We have Pentecost University as 4th place. We have Heritage Christian University in 5th position. Wisconsin International University College at 6th place. We have Ghana Communication Technology University 7. And then we have the West End University College as 8. So ladies and gentlemen, those are your final 16 schools you'll be seeing on the national stage. At this stage, it is important to acknowledge my production team. The project coordinator is Madam Yvonne Ayi. The assistant coordinator is Stella Logosu. My technical crew, executive producer is Franklin Sowa. The producer is George Danso. Assistant producer is Stephen. The director is David Abel. My switcher is NSJC. Sound is by Malik. Then we have our we have the camera. The camera team is made up of Emmanuel, Agnes, and then Evans. My timer or score master is Alfred Akweje. Graphic designer is Felix Tay. And photography, our birthday boy. Our birthday boy. He is at the back. David Niyama Abubakar. Our transport coordinator is Mr. Samuel Ansam. And our social media is being handled by Evans Tayuba. Ladies and gentlemen, my appreciation to all of you for coming, for watching online, for being part of the Zonal Championship. To you, brilliant minds, thank you so much for giving us a very beautiful contest. I don't know why. Are you called Oliver? Oh, okay. So last year was Okpoti, this year is Oliver. Eh? All right. So my appreciation also to the coaches in all the schools, because it is not easy to commit your research time, your publication time to this kind of task. You have ensured that they are well prepared for the competition. And we say thank you so much. My final appreciation goes to the management of the Wisconsin International University College for granting us the permission to use this auditorium and to access their facilities. So ladies and gentlemen, it's been, audience, I've thanked you already. Studio audience, once again, thank you so much for this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my humble pleasure to have come your way again with another dose of academic violence. It's been a pleasure going around the country for the Zonal Championship. We will now turn our attention to the National Championship. 16 schools, 4 zones, 10 different regions. We will see how that goes. The birthday boy is at work. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm signing off by telling them or congratulating everyone on stage. You've done so well. Thank you. My name is Al Hassan Yusuf Traule. I love academic violence. I'll see you at the national event. Bye bye for now.
Ceremony of the giant trophy, which signifies that UGBS are our 2024 champions. So let's welcome them with a hearty round of applause as they receive the trophy.
This means a lot. We are super excited. They've really shown professionalism.
Improve the experience and compliance.
Yes, that is correct.
Champions who have held the trophy for more than 365 days.
You said you used to test hypothesis.
T-test.
No, please.
Radio frequency identification.
Yes.
Congratulations, guys. It's not easy. Let a round of applause flow for our 2024 Tertiary Business Science Challenge champions, the University of Ghana Business School.